these workshops, they are not targeted for a specific discipline or anything like that. It is basically fun. Prashnancha Divas which is about nurturing curiosity in children, and art of forming questions. This book has received state award for children's literature, best children's literature in 2018.
Welcome to NMACC Culture Conversations, and we're very privileged to have Mrinalinee Vanarase, an ecological researcher and writer. She's the workshop mentor for SBA, an integrated approach towards science, philosophy, and art, happening from the 24th to the 26th of March. Now, at the Studio Theatre and the Cube, the NMACC makes sure they organize workshops for audiences to enhance their technical knowledge and skills across dance, music, and theatre. And we're going to be talking for a bit with Mrinalinee. Hi, how are you? So nice to meet you and so nice to talk to you.
Hello and good morning. Thank you, Hrishi K. Thank you for inviting me here.
I want to start with, in a nutshell, what is SPA, Mrinalinee? An integrated approach towards science, philosophy, and art. I'd like you to give us a window into that.
So I myself am trained in different disciplines. I'm a trained ecologist. I have also done masters in environmental philosophy and Sanskrit and Indology. And as such, whenever I kept interacting with artists, I realized that amalgamation of these many disciplines can help an artist with critical thinking processes. And that's how I came up with this idea of interdisciplinary thinking for artistic expression, which I have named as SPA, because SPA is something that we all are familiar with, how refreshing it sounds whenever we talk about SPA. And that's why I thought that perhaps the same acronym can work for me as well. And that's why the name SPA. And SPA, here it stands for science, philosophy, and art.
I love that it's about the spa of the mind and not so much a foot spa or a body spa. That's wonderful. You know, as parents, our antennas are always up for anything that concerns children. I have two of them. So I was immediately curious to know about Anand Rang. I believe this is your project for children. Would you give us an insight into that, Mrinalinee?
Yeah, so working with children has been our passion. Myself and my husband Prasad Vanarase, who is also a founder of our organization, International Association for Performing Arts and Research. And as children, we have enjoyed it immensely, working with those facilitators who know how to engage with young minds. And we thought that as adults, it is our responsibility to continue with this journey. And that's how we started with this mission, as we have named it as Ananda Rang. And through Anand Rang, we work with children. We conduct various workshops for them. Again, these workshops, they are not targeted for a specific discipline or anything like that. It is basically fun that children experience their creativity and fun, exploring in nature and things like that. So we do that in summer vacations, in the Diwali vacations. And along with that, we also work with schools, whereby I work for bringing interdisciplinary approaches in educational pedagogy. So that's what we do with schools. Right now I'm working with a particular school in Pune. Its name is Prakriya Co-Learning Space. It is a school based on alternative education principles, and I'm working with the children not for a particular subject or discipline, but how to integrate different insights from several disciplines so that it becomes more relatable for the children. So this is something that we are doing through Anand Rang.
Well, I have to thank the NMACC and the good people there that I learn about people and organizations such as what you're involved with. For example, before I started reading up this interview, I didn't know that something like the International Association for Performing Arts and Research existed. Yeah. And it's incredibly wonderful that you have a very, very important role there. Your current role is mentor in knowledge and research at IAPAR, the International Association for Performing Arts and Research. I think it'll be nice if you set a context and tell us about what IAPAR does, its goals, its motives, and then what your role as a mentor in knowledge and research is.
Yeah. So IPAR, as I said, my husband Prasad Vanarase is a founder director of IPAR, and IPAR works in several fields related to art. Every year we organize International Theatre Festival in Pune, and for that festival, artists from several countries visit each year, not only for performances but also for conducting workshops and mentorships and many other things. In the month of November and December, if you visit Pune, you will find a buzzing place where there are people coming from 35 countries together. And but IPAR is not only for the performances and festivals. IPAR has a strong emphasis on research. And that's where I come into the picture. My role there is to help artists, because every art, it needs some sort of thinking, critical thinking, perspective development. And artists generally, they do it on their own. They navigate through the process on their own. But then if they get some help from the experts with each other, then this process is much more enhanced, and thereby they can bring in great clarity in their artistic expression, and they can structure it in a better manner. They can work on the framework of their artistic expression in a better manner. And that's exactly what I do here through IPAR. I work with artists, theatre professionals, and whoever is interested in working on their critical thinking skills. So that is my role as a mentor at IPAR.
It's very insightful. A profile note on you, which I asked for and was sent to me, says, quote unquote, "You listen to the wisdom of the trees." I find that very fascinating, Mrinalini. Please explain.
Oh, yeah. Well, literally, I try to do that because you see, as I said, I am also an ecologist, ecological researcher, and every ecologist knows that no tree stands in isolation. You might be looking at a particular tree as a single entity, but that tree is teeming with lots of other elements and species in that particular ecosystem or locality. It is interacting with the soil, microorganisms in the soil, it is interacting with fungi and birds and butterflies, and so many other things are going on simultaneously in an ecosystem that it is really up to you how much would you like to listen to and how much do you want to see. So I never get tired of looking at trees as a connected phenomenon and not as an isolated entity. And that's what I mean when I say that I like to listen to trees.
It's very well described. Mrinalini, you've also written this Marathi play called Darwin, which is playing at the Cube NMACC. All of you who are watching, listening, the Cube NMACC on the 23rd of March. Tickets are live at Book My Show as well as at nmacc.com. So, wonderful space, the Cube. Please tell us about the play and its messaging, plus who are the actors and the collaborators.
Yeah. So this play also has a history to it. So it was during the lockdown that I was telling the story of Darwin and his famous discovery to my husband, and he was quietly listening to it. And actually, I started feeling that he's losing interest in the story now. And then he suddenly said that, you know what, there should be a play on this story. And I said, yes, there should be. And then, but who will write it? And then he said, you will do it. And I said, but I haven't written a play so far. And he said, so this is the first time you will do it, but do it. And I took the challenge. I wrote the script, and then he worked on the script again. And there was the script ready in our hands. And it is about Darwin, as the name suggests, but it is not just an autobiographical retelling. Darwin speaks to us in present times, and that is the uniqueness of this script. And Prasad himself performs Darwin. which is like a reward in itself for me to see him on stage as Charles Darwin. And the way he does it is astonishing. And we have a wonderful team with us who has, brought that script to life through music, through lights, through costumes. And I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful experience for the audience to come and meet Charles Darwin himself on 23rd. So I'm looking forward to that experience myself.
Now, you've also authored numerous books contributing valuable resources for both children as well as adults. Could you tell us about some of those books or the most important amongst them that we should, try and get for ourselves to read?
Yeah, so I have authored a couple of books, more than that actually, in last 8 or 10 years, and two of them are novels. The names are Pratik and Ghatmata. So Pratik is a story of a young boy who finds an ancient coin in his small village in Konkan, and his journey thereafter with that coin. What happens? After he realizes that he has found an ancient coin. And Ghatmatha is about again a man-nature relationship. Man-nature relationship is we can say that is a central theme in most of my writings. They are around this particular relationship, and then I have written several books for children as well. One of them is Prashnancha Divas, which is about nurturing curiosity in children, and art of forming questions. This book has received state award for children's literature, best children's literature in 2018, I think. And after that, I have written Bhugol Goshti, which unfolds stories behind geographical terms and concepts that we read in geography textbooks. And otherwise, those concepts and terms, we find them very dry. Children don't know the history behind them, how these concepts, how we arrived at those concepts. So if a story can tell them the connect that humans have with these discoveries, then these it becomes more appealing to them. So this is the theme behind Bhugol Goshti, and there are many other such books. You can find it on my website as well.
Wonderful. I completely believe in the power of storytelling. You can give out your website, Mrinalinee. What is it called so that people can log in?
It is www.mvanarase.com.
mvanarase.com. All right. Now, you talked about, stuff that you do for children. Programs and workshops that you conduct for educators and facilitators.
Yeah.
Tell us about those and the subject matter of those workshops as opposed to the ones you conduct for children.
Yeah. So when we work with children, as I said, it's basically about nurturing curiosity and forming questions. When it comes to adults and grown-ups, it is about analyzing those questions and understanding our own species, understanding ourselves as members of our own species, which has an evolutionary past. If you have insights from, say, biology, from physics, from chemistry, then you can handle your own daily experiences in the light of the laws of nature. This is something that we do in the workshops with the grown-ups. Now, this may sound a little serious, but we do it in a fun manner. We do it in an interactive fashion, and then it doesn't become a very daunting subject or a very serious theme, because it is very important for us to understand ourselves, our relationship with others, and our relationship with the world in the light of the universal laws of nature, because that explains almost everything that is happening to ourselves and to the world. So this is like you're directly going to the key to the solutions, and whatever the limited time span that we have on this planet, if we already know the keys and universal laws of nature is like those prime keys with which you can unsolve many mysteries. And that's exactly what we do in the workshops with adults.
Fascinating. Now, because the show is called NMACC Culture Conversations, we spend a little bit of time just talking about the NMACC. Now, at the Studio Theatre and the Cube, Mrinalini, they organize workshops for audiences to enhance their technical knowledge and skills across dance, music, theatre. I want to know from you, how important are these workshops in this day and age? And most importantly, providing a space to workshops like this. I'd like you to comment on that, please.
It is extremely, incredibly important because, coming up with a performance is one thing, and providing a space for artists to come together and work on their craft, on their thinking skills, is an altogether different effort. And this is really commendable because we need more and more such spaces. And I'm yet to visit the Cube. This will be my first time conducting a workshop like spa over there, and I'm looking forward to it. And I have already heard so much about it that I'm very excited to be there and conducting this workshop.
My last question to you is about your areas of expertise. I mean, you're considered an expert in Sanskrit and Indology. You said that at the beginning. When and how did you get interested in the study of Indology? Is my question, and what have you done to pursue your passion in that area?
Indology is about ancient past of India. Again, it is an interdisciplinary field which brings together many disciplines as archaeology and languages and social sciences, etc. And anybody who is interested in your own ancient past, you confront with this discipline at some point or the other, and that's exactly what happened with me. So generally our understanding about history is limited only to medieval ages, like say the era of Shivaji Maharaj, or slightly you can say go to Yadavas and things like that. But what was happening in India, say 10 lakhs years ago, uh, are we aware of that? Because that tells a lot about who we are, our landscape, how we connect with this nature, and things like that. So it is a mesmerizing field, and I was lucky that I could also be at the excavation where they were excavating a Harappan site, and I could take part in it. And the way they connect the past and the present there, like for example, the chula, the way people fired chula at that time and the way people fire chula in present days is just the same. And the connections like that, they reveal so much about who you are, we the people, where do we come from, and all those things. And that's why Indology is a very fascinating subject, and anybody would be interested in it if you're interested in the ancient past of your own country and yourself.
Well, eye-popping, that thing about the Harappa excavations. For all of you who are listening and watching at the Neeta Mukesh Ambani Cultural Center, the Cube has some amazing facilities, 125 people, flexible seating capacity, a fully LED-driven theatrical lighting system, a Panasonic laser projection system, assisted listening devices available, and an accessible theater. And that's what Mrinalini is really looking forward to coming and being in, and you will enjoy that too. Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it, and all the best.
Thank you, Rishikesh. Thank you very much.
94.3 Radio 1.